Yo, 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 good people. Welcome to the HerbMan Show.
Yo, good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. Hey, look, go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if this is your first time tuning in to the HerbMan Show, welcome. Go ahead and hit that logo right at the bottom of your screen right now. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you guys never miss what we're bringing to the world. All right, so today we just want to walk you guys through a health natal chart reading. Okay, so when you actually give us your birth date, birth time, and birth location, if you don't have the time, that's fine, but when you give us this piece of information, we're going to put it into a system, right? And then that system is going to create your natal chart. Okay, and remember, we only read these for your health benefits. Okay, but health is more of a holistic understanding, so we're going to kind of break down to you what everything means, and we'll try to get as close as we possibly can to looking at different body parts, different lifestyle activities, different things about your constitution, your internal environment, your characteristics, your interests, all of these things who make you up to be who you are. We're going to try to identify in order for you to kind of know exactly what we call Mother Nature and what she says about you. Okay, and so when we do this, you're going to get a natal chart, right? And at the top left hand corner of your natal chart, you're going to have some black lettering. We always tell people to look at that information to make sure that it's accurate, and it's just basically going to be the information that you gave us, right? Your birth date, your birth time, your birth location. If you didn't have the time, obviously it wouldn't be there. All right, below that black lettering, you're going to get some red lettering, right? And that's going to tell us about our sun sign, our ascendant, which we also call the rising. Okay, and so you're going to get that. Below the red lettering, you're also going to get a big box, and it's going to have like the legend, so to speak. It's going to have the planets, their symbology, and then to the right of that, you're going to see some blue lettering. That blue lettering is what we call the deacons, and the deacons are always going to be illustrated through degrees. Okay, and so from 0 to 10 degrees is the first deacon. From 10:01 to 20 is the second deacon. From 20:01 to 30 is the third deacon. And so when we talk about planets being in a particular deacon, now you know why and what those deacons actually mean. And the deacons will allow us to be a little bit more specific to which body parts and things of that nature that we want to look at as a area of interest. Okay, so remember that your natal chart is all about tendencies, you guys. It's not about being definite and diagnosing and all of that. It's more or less about the tendencies. And a lot of times you will see that depending on when you get this particular health natal chart reading, you could very well have went through some of those tendencies. Okay, and so it's very good information in order to know just kind of what the tendencies are, what the planetary energies are saying about these characteristics, interests, or these areas of life. Okay, and so you have 12 houses, and we're going to call those the 12 interests. Okay, and then you have the 12 zodiacs, which also play a role into allowing us to know exactly what body parts or body systems that we need to look at. And also in the health natal chart reading, we also like to define the minerals, okay, that may be deficiency in the body. And we can do this just by integrating the 12 cell salts into the health natal chart reading. Okay, and with that, we also give you the organic version of those cell salts. So we're not asking for you to go out there and pick up any rock salts in order to get this particular mineral, but we're actually going to tell you what herbs that you can get to give you whatever mineral that you may be deficient in. And so when you're looking at this particular type of system, because we all come out premature, even if we're born in 9 months, then we're all kind of deficient in about 2 or 3 to 4 deficiencies just from birth. And we don't know what these things are, and so we're able to incorporate that knowledge into your health natal chart reading. Okay, and so after we sift through the big box there, then you're going to have a small box right at the bottom of that, the legend, and it's going to say basically this is the table of elements. Okay, very tiny box, but what we've done is we've blown that box up, and that's kind of where we really start to do our reading from, our analysis from. Okay, and basically we just take those planets out of that box and blow it up, and allow us to understand exactly what we're seeing there. And so at the table of elements, you'll see CFM across the top, which means cardinal, fixed, and mutable. And then you also see FAEW along the left-hand side of that box. And basically, we're just identifying the fire element, the air element, the earth element, and the water element, okay? And then when you're looking at your circle there, you're going to see 4 energies around the circle, right? You're going to see your ascendant, which is AC. You're going to see your MC, which is the midheaven. You're going to see your DC, which is your descendant. And then you're going to see your IC, right? And we always look at the IC as something of a core value to you, something of high value, right? And so AC stands for, to me, your look, right? Your appearance, right? MC stands for your personality, how you act. DC stands for how you think or how you can be understood by others, okay? And IC again is going to be what is of high value to you at your core value, okay? And so when you combine those energies around the circle with all of the planets that are in the legend there, you come up with 16 planetary energies. Now, if you don't have the time, you'll come up with 12 planetary energies, okay? Because without the time, we can't see your ascendant, and so we can't see the midheaven, the descendant, and we can't see the IC, nor can we see your houses, okay? So that will kind of cut the information, but at the end of the day, as long as you're able to get your constitution, that is really going to be helpful for you being able to identify how you're going to get back into health status, how you're going to get back into alignment with your health. And this is all about allowing you to understand all of the information possible from Mother Nature to allow you to be happy, whole, and well, okay? And so again, if you have all of that information, you're going to come up with 16 planetary energies, and they need to fit into these 4 elements, right? And so that means that you should have the number 4. You should have 4 energies per element, okay? And if you don't have the time, then you should have 3 energies per element, okay? Anything above 3 or 4, we call that excessive behavior in that. And basically, excessive behavior just alludes to this being your great suits, right? Your great departments. And so these are the departments that you work well, and so you work them a lot, okay? And anything below 3 or 4 are going to be the deficient areas or the deficient behaviors, and this is just some things that you may not necessarily be as good in, and so we tend not to bother with those things as much. And the whole thing about having a health natal chart reading is that the defining thing is how we reach balance. How we reach balance in every area of life is so important. And to me, the whole experience in life is to be balanced, right? Is to be in neutrality, not to be too aggressive, not to be too passive, but just a proper balance of information in each one of these areas of life are going to be conducive to how happy, how whole, and how well we are. So the fire element is what we call the mental health department, okay? The air element is what we call your spiritual health department. The earth element is what we call your physical health department. And the water element is what we call your emotional health department, okay? And so that's how we understand everything in the health natal chart reading. And so when you give us your birth date, birth time, and birth location, then we start to do the mathematical equation, which is what we call the count system. And that count system will identify where the excessive behavior is in each one of those departments, or either where the deficient behavior is at. Okay, now after we do all of that, we also are going to tell you about the chakras. Okay, so the first chakra is aligned to your earth element, the second chakra is aligned to your water element, the third chakra is aligned to your fire element, the fourth chakra is aligned to your air element, and then it starts all the way back over again. The fifth chakra is aligned to your earth element, the sixth chakra is aligned to your water element, and the seventh chakra is aligned to your fire element. So we'll be able to identify if something is, if an element is excessive, then we'll look at overactivity in that chakra. If the element is deficient, then we'll be looking at underactivity in that particular chakra, okay? And then we're also going to talk about your yin and your yang, okay? So the fire and the air element makes up masculine energy, and the earth and water element makes up feminine energy. And so again, we call this the yang and the yin. And so we'll be able to identify that as well. So if all of these should be 4s, right? So your fire and air should equal 8, your earth and water should equal the number 8. Anything above that, we're going to call that yang excessive. Anything below that, we're going to call that yang deficient. Anything below earth and water being the number 8, we're going to call that yin deficiency. Anything above earth and water being 8, then we're going to call that yin excessive. And this also will allow us to identify which sides of the body that maybe have a tendency of having an issue, as well as understand if things of coming in through your immune system, if there is a physiological underfunction of an organ in a particular area, and then also we're going to be looking at if you're getting any sufficient nutrition within the body. So we can do that all through the yin and yang as well. So all of that information will also be on your health natal chart reading. And so if you combine all that information, you'll see that we're not leaving anything behind. Okay, this is a total encapsulation of who you are, and we're also encapsulating the 4 modalities as well. All right, and so all elements have an energy source. Okay, so for the mental health department, the energy source for that are going to be your liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. So also if we see excessiveness or we see deficiency in there, we'll also be able to determine whether you need to eliminate or tone or strengthen that particular energy source up. Okay, for the spiritual health department, we call that the lungs and the blood, right? So any excessive behavior or deficiency, we'll be able to identify whether you need to eliminate, aka detox, those particular organs, or if you need to tone up or strengthen those organs. Okay, the earth element is about the kidneys and the spleen. Okay, same thing with that particular element. And the water element, the energy source for that is going to be your lymphatic immune system. Okay, so we'll be able to identify whether you need to eliminate, aka detox, or strengthen up those energy sources. All right, and so also on the circle you'll see red lines and blue lines. Okay, we just kind of look at the red lines as being more highly probable, so we call these areas the areas of concern, the areas that we should look for, the areas that we should look at. And remember that this is just not all negative. It could be that you can have good areas of concern as well, but we just say that these are the areas that we definitely want to highlight. Okay, highlight. And so that is what the red lines are for on your particular chart in the circle. Okay, anything else that we talk about outside of that, we also are able to understand what organs need to be detoxed just based on the count system. We're also able to understand things that need to be strengthened based on the count system. We're able to see what the chakras are identifying, okay, because again, those chakras will also lead us to organs. So the first chakra is about the adrenals, the second is about the reproductive organs, the third is about the pancreas, the fourth is about your thymus gland, the fifth is about the thyroid, the sixth is about your pituitary gland, and the seventh is about your pineal gland. Okay, so we'll be talking about those as we go through as well, and what it means to be underactive or overactive in those particular areas. Okay, so it could be talking about sleep patterns, you can be talking about growth and development issues, reproductive issues, immune system issues. We could be talking about blood sugar issues, because we're talking about the pancreas. I mean, so it's just a slew of information that you're going to get with your health natal chart reading. Also, we identify lifestyle activities, right? So the fire element is about sweating activities, okay? The air element is about deep breathing techniques. The earth element is going to be about how your diet plays a part and a role in your health. And also the water element is obviously about how much water we're drinking, but also about going toward the rivers, the beaches, the lakes, the creeks and whatnot, and really rekindling your relationship back with these 4 elements. Okay, rekindling our relationship back with water, rekindling our relationship back with air, back with earth, back with the fruits and vegetables, back with the sun. And so that we can kind of fortify that relationship and know how conducive it's going to be in order for us to be happy, to be whole, and to be well. Okay, so this is just a onslaught of information that you're going to get. Now, from the results of that count, we're also going to know about your constitution. Are you hot and wet? Are you hot and dry? Are you cold and wet? Are you cold and dry? And then how we're able to balance that out. So that is going to be your internal constitution, which we call the internal environment. And then we also teach you how to balance that out with the ambient temperature, with the outside weather, with the outside stressors of life as well, right? So if you wake up and you're a hot and wet person, internal environment, and you just discovered that, then we teach you how to balance that with the weather. All right, and so that's really going to be how you base your diet, how you base your mindset, okay, and be able to balance yourself out so that you don't add on to the internal environment and create temperature issues or temperature imbalances or fluid imbalances, okay? Because when you're looking at hot and wet and hot and dry and cold and wet and cold and dry, all you're looking at is temperature and fluids. Temperature can be hot and cold, the fluids could be wet and dry. So we just teach you how to be able to look at those things from a food understanding, from your external environment, so that you don't put too much emphasis on an already hot body or already wet body, or vice versa, already cold body or already dry body. And when you're able to understand the balancing act that it requires for you to take on a day-to-day basis to keep yourself happy, healthy, and whole, then we believe that this is going to be the best information that you can possibly have. And then also, last but not least, there are sometimes going to be planets that are not going to be in some of the boxes in the table of elements, okay? And when there's no boxes there, what we said, there's no planetary energy. So if we went through 12-month gestation, we would get one of these minerals every month in our mother's womb. But because all of us are coming out premature, this is where we get these vitamin and deficiency tendencies at, okay? And so we're able to take those vitamin and mineral deficiency tendencies and we're able to combine them with the herbs, okay? And so each person chart will be different to give them a different blend of herbs, and we call this your natal blend, okay? And this blend is going to indirectly help you with a lot of the things that you got going on, okay? And so it's all designed to allow Mother Nature to tell us what our issues are, but it's also designed to allow Mother Nature to tell us what our remedies are, okay? So that we can rely on what Mother Nature says about us instead of you and me trying to converse about things that we may not know in depth, okay? So this is all about knowing thyself, and knowing thyself through the eyes of Mother Nature, and knowing thyself through your own understanding, so that you'll know at the root causation of how to get yourself back happy, healthy, and whole, and how to put the pieces of your life back together through lifestyle activities. We call this the lifestyle prescription, okay? And so look, man, go and get your health natal chart reading today, okay? Go and get your health natal chart reading today. We're also doing a drawing, you guys. So when we reach 1,000 subscribers, okay, which we need about maybe 40 more people. When we reach 1,000 subscribers, okay, anybody who wants to subscribe, you can go ahead and hit the logo at the bottom and email us and let us know you subscribe. And we're going to give 5 free health natal chart readings, okay? 5 free health natal chart readings to 5 lucky subscribers. And also we're doing this whole drawing also from TikTok, so you can go over there and follow us there. But once we reach 1,000 subscribers and you email me and say, hey, HerbMan, I have subscribed to your YouTube page, we're going to reach out to you once we get 1,000, put your name in the drawing, and then we're going to have the drawing live on TikTok, and then we're going to give 5 free health natal chart readings to our supporters, our viewers, because we really want to get this information out to allow you to understand that there is a ancient technology that we can use to really start to help us in our health journey, man. So I love you guys, man, and it's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody to go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan, and until next time, love HerbMan.
Yo, 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 good people. Welcome to the HerbMan Show.